One day, something incredible happened. My sister-in-law Mary and I received an unexpected yet astonishing gift: ownership of a company and a staggering $300 million. The excitement and disbelief we felt were beyond measure. As we rejoiced, the news of our fortune quickly spread among our colleagues. Mary, unable to contain her delight, basked in the attention. Rumors swirled that our sudden wealth was a generous gesture from our father. Despite this, Mary insisted she preferred to keep things understated, confidently stating, "I don't make a fuss." The situation became even more interesting when my husband was granted ownership of the company along with an additional $3 million. One of the employees couldn't help but laugh at the revelation, leaving my older brother and his bewildered wife in shock. My brother, engrossed in a document from a lawyer, turned pale with worry, while his wife, upon reading its contents, let out a startled scream. "I'm Lucy, 29 years old, and I've been part of my father's business since I was young. I watched him build it from the ground up, understanding the struggles that came with it. My parents encouraged me to go to college and pursue my own path, but my heart was set on working alongside my father. After high school, I dedicated myself to learning from Bob, a senior employee who mentored me like an equal rather than just the boss's daughter. His lessons helped me grasp the inner workings of the company. My older brother, Tom, took a different route. He went to college for business management, convinced he would one day inherit and lead the company. His friends admired his seemingly guaranteed future, picturing him as the next boss. When asked if he worried about competing with me, Tom dismissed the idea, assuring them that I had no interest in wealth or power and preferred working behind the scenes. Tom married Mary, who thrived on luxury. Wanting to impress her, he indulged her extravagant tastes, believing it would secure his position as the company's future president. Mary often mocked my simple lifestyle, questioning why I didn't act like a typical business heir. I always responded honestly, I found happiness in things beyond material wealth. Mary, unable to understand my perspective, pitied me, convinced I lacked the wisdom to manage money properly. Tom agreed with her. He criticized my quiet approach, insisting that a leader needed to exude authority. Though I acknowledged that I was still learning, I reminded him that only my father and I truly held influential roles in the company. My mother reassured me, saying she saw the value in my contributions, and my father agreed. However, Tom and Mary remained unconvinced, distancing themselves from us for over a month. During this time, they continued their lavish lifestyle, dining at high-end restaurants, taking expensive vacations, all to maintain the illusion that Tom was the rightful heir to the business. Meanwhile, my father worked tirelessly to expand the company. One evening, he suddenly clutched his chest in pain. Alarmed, I told him to rest and promised to call for help. Struggling to speak, he pointed to a drawer and whispered, "There's a letter for you inside. If anything happens to me, read it. The rest is for the lawyers." Before the ambulance arrived, he lost consciousness and never woke up again. Tom and Mary, away on vacation, returned days later as if their delayed arrival was insignificant. At the funeral, my brother casually remarked, "At least we made it back in time. Who would have thought Dad would pass while we were away?" His indifference stunned me. My mother and I had been left to handle everything alone. I pulled him aside. "Could you have come back earlier?" I asked. "I had already booked our return flight," he replied, showing no remorse. Later, addressing the employees, Tom confidently announced, "Thank you all for your support. From now on, trust me to lead the company in my father's place." Mary, beaming with pride, praised his leadership, expecting admiration from the staff. Annoyed by their arrogance, I led them to the meal table, hoping to avoid further embarrassment. Throughout the meal, Tom continued his performance, even criticizing the food. I reminded him that my mother and I had made the final decisions, asserting, "I don't need you telling me what to do. People don't truly understand what it means to be president." His arrogance extended to ordering employees around, including Bob, our longtime worker. I stepped in, warning him against being disrespectful. "Tom, don't act like that. These people deserve respect," I said firmly. "I'm the president now. They should respect me," he scoffed. Mary chimed in, "That's right, Lucy. Stop arguing with Tom. He's the company president now. If you don't listen, he can fire you." As they flaunted their supposed authority, a man stepped forward. "Sorry to interrupt," he said. "Your father entrusted me with handling his estate. He was the lawyer my father had hired before his passing. I recalled my father mentioning legal matters but hadn't realized the full extent of his preparations. Tom and Mary, excited at the mention of the inheritance, eagerly welcomed the lawyer, eager to claim their fortune. But as the lawyer spoke, Tom's face fell. Tears welled in his eyes. "Wasn't my father's inheritance worth $300 million?" he asked. Mary's face lit up. $300 million. That's incredible. Owning a company with that kind of money is a dream come true. The employees, overhearing this, whispered among themselves. Mary, reveling in the moment, commanded, "Everyone, be silent." This is the moment when the company and $300 million officially belonged to Tom. But then one employee burst out laughing. My brother held the will in his hands, his eyes scanning the words as Mary sat beside him, confusion written all over her face. As he read further, his expression turned pale. According to the will, the entire company was to be passed down to the eldest daughter, me, Lucy. Stunned, he stared at the document before shouting in disbelief, "This can't be right. This is a mistake." The lawyer, unfazed, responded firmly, "This is a legally valid will." My brother's voice grew strained with frustration. "I don't accept this. How could Lucy be chosen as president over me? Dad must have been confused when he wrote this." The lawyer remained professional. "If your father wasn't of sound mind, the will could be challenged. However, that would require proof." Hearing them question my father's judgment was too much for me. I refused to let anyone, family or not, tarnish his reputation. The thought of my brother leading the company was unimaginable. My words only fueled his anger. "What are you implying? Are you saying I'm not fit to be president?" Without hesitation, I responded, "That's exactly what I'm saying. How can you lead a company you've never truly contributed to?" My brother scoffed. "That's ridiculous. Mary and I even built a grand house fit for a company president. We worked hard to make me look the part." I countered, "So you think leadership is about appearances? Wasting money on luxury homes and fine dining doesn't reflect well on a company. Besides, wasn't it Dad who paid for most of it?" He glared at me. "How would you even know that?" I took a deep breath. "Before he passed, Dad left me a letter. In it he listed every expense he covered for you, including your house and lavish spending. He considered that your share of the inheritance, which means you won't be receiving anything more." Mary's face twisted in panic. "Wait a minute. Are you saying the $300 million inheritance is gone? That's not fair if we got almost nothing from it." One of the employees who had laughed earlier stepped forward. "The $300 million was never personal wealth. It came from the company's funds." He glanced at Mary before continuing, "All of us employees have always known that." Mary's face fell. "Wait, so company money isn't something we can inherit?" I confirmed, "No, it belongs to the business, not the family. So if you were expecting a big payout, Mary, I wouldn't count on it." Mary sighed dramatically. "This is unbelievable. I was so excited about that $300 million. And now, nothing." Suddenly, my brother stood up, his desperation mounting. Turning to the employees, he called out, "Do you really want someone as ordinary as Lucy running the company? I'm the one with leadership qualities. I have the same presence as my father." But no one agreed with him. Bob, a senior employee, stepped forward. "Your father was a great leader who built this company from nothing. But you're nothing like him. What you call presence is just arrogance." My brother clenched his fists. "That's not true." Bob remained calm. "Tom, you're technically part of the company, but we rarely see you actually working." Frustrated, my brother snapped, "That's because I have bigger responsibilities. I'm busy networking. I don't have time for day-to-day tasks." Bob shook his head. "Networking isn't enough. Lucy has been here every day, working quietly and handling responsibilities behind the scenes." His words resonated with the employees. "Lucy has the same dedication your father had," Bob continued. "That's why she's the right person for this job." The employees nodded in agreement. Their support touched me deeply. "Thank you, everyone. This was unexpected, but I've watched my father pour his heart into this company and I care about it just as much as he did. I'll do my best and I hope to work alongside all of you." The room filled with applause and I bowed in gratitude. Encouraged by their support, I spoke firmly, Each of you has played a crucial role in making this company what it is. Anyone who disregards your efforts isn't fit to be part of this company, let alone lead it. And yes, even a president can be removed if they fail to do their job. My brother scowled. What are you even saying? I'm your brother. I met his gaze without hesitation. And yet you were the one who said you'd fire me if you became president. His face twisted in frustration. You can't be serious, I'm family. I remained resolute. Family or not, I won't keep an incompetent employee on the payroll. This is insane, he shouted. Desperate, he turned to the employees for support. But they only stared back, unimpressed. Realizing he had no allies, Tom and Mary stormed out. From that moment on, Tom was officially out of the company. A small inheritance he received was all he had left. But it didn't last long. Eventually, he came to me, asking for a loan. Frustrated by his unwillingness to change, I firmly told my mother not to give him any money. The friends who once admired him disappeared when they realized he was no longer the company's future leader. Mary, who once envisioned herself as the wife of a powerful businessman, found herself in an entirely different reality. In the end, they were forced to sell their mansion. The money helped them maintain their lifestyle for a short while, but without a stable income, it ran out quickly. Eventually, they had nothing left. Desperate, they tried to find jobs, but with no real experience, no one would hire them. Tom ended up working part-time at a convenience store, struggling to take orders from younger employees. Mary, who had always been a full-time housewife, had no choice but to work as a supermarket cashier, spending long hours on her feet for a modest paycheck. Meanwhile, I poured my energy into running the company. With Bob and the rest of the employees by my side, we worked together to grow the business, strengthening the company more than ever. Ironically, my brother's downfall only brought the employees closer, solidifying our team. I made a promise to my mother. We would continue expanding the business. And in doing so, we would honor my father's legacy. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Stay tuned.